Let's go. Who is John Cox? Now, before I answer this question, I do realize that question is a bit tricky to Google and get the correct answer for because John Cox is actually a pretty generic name. There's a lot of men named John Cox. If it helps, my full name is John Kenneth Cox or John K. Cox. And I used to use a pen name many years ago, but I don't do that anymore. My legal birth name is John Kenneth Cox. So, basically, who is John Cox? I am a I am a freelance artist, designer, illustrator, cartoonist, and social media influencer. What is John Cox's age? I don't know why I didn't word that as how old is John Cox, but I'm 28. I'm 28. I'm almost 29. I'm going to be 29 later this summer, which appropriately enough leads to our next question. When is John Cox's birthday? My birthday is June 28th. I was born on June 28th, 1995. Just barely a 90s kid. Is John Cox in a relationship? Sadly, no. No, I'm currently not in a relationship. I am currently single. Not necessarily ready to mingle. um, yeah, I'm still single. I do eventually hope to get a girl in my life, but I'm just one of those men who has to wait patiently. Someday, the right kind of girl will come. What is John Cox's sexuality? I am straight. I'm 100% straight. Uh, I apologize to all the gay men watching this video. I have absolutely nothing against the LGBTQI plus community. I'm sure a lot of you are handsome young men, and I do wish the best for you. But you understand, I want a woman in a relationship. I want a woman when I do eventually get in a relationship. A lot of us are like that. Does John Cox have a YouTube? Yes. My YouTube channel is John Cox Master Cartoonist. My YouTube handle is at John Cox Master Cartoonist 9390. I currently have a little over 204 subscribers at the time I'm doing this video. Please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. I post every day except for Sundays. I usually post about 1 to 4 videos a day depending on the week. And yeah, my YouTube channel is John Cox Master Cartoonist. Not an impressive amount of subscribers, but I currently have over 2,450 videos at the time I'm doing this video, so check them out. Does John Cox have an Instagram? Sadly, no, I don't have an Instagram, and there's a very unfortunate story behind that. So I did used to have an Instagram. I started Instagram. I started testing waters of Instagram about 4 years ago. I started an Instagram channel in April 2020, but I got locked out on my first day. The site blocked me. Apparently, nobody ever warns people about this, but apparently there's a security measure on Instagram that you're not allowed to follow more than 10 to 20 people on your first day. They consider that a security threat. And like, I kind of get that is a bit sus, but you have to understand it's not entirely my fault because you know how literally every YouTuber on this site wants you to follow their IG or their other socials besides YouTube? Well, I did that. I don't have as I didn't have as many YouTube favorite YouTubers back in those days as I do now, but I still had a lot, and I followed all those people on Instagram on my first day, and Instagram blocked me. They saw that as a problem. They saw it as questionable. And it could just be the fact that I was using Instagram on the internet browser and not actually downloaded the app, but still, it's highly doubtful I'll be back on Instagram anytime soon. Let's just put it that way. Does John Cox have an X, formerly Twitter, aka the other social media platform that everybody's trying to push you to follow them on besides YouTube? Why is everybody trying to get us off YouTube? Like, YouTube is where we belong. No, seriously. Back when it was called Twitter, I don't currently have an X, but back when it was called Twitter, I did very briefly have a Twitter account when I was a teenager, but that was many, many years ago. I don't currently have an X. I kind of wanted to have an X channel, but after my unfortunate experience with Instagram, I'm not entirely sure. Does John Cox have a TikTok? You know, it's the funniest thing. My content would be appropriate for TikTok. They're both short form content. Content that a lot of people argue is pointless and a waste of some people's time. And they're both kind of silly. And a lot of people would suggest I post my content on TikTok. But I don't have a TikTok, and I'm not going to go into deep detail about it, but basically I'm kind of avoiding TikTok until I'm sure it's safe to be on TikTok. It's hard to explain. Last question. Who are John Cox's influences? And I just realized I wrote the U backwards. I purposely wrote all this in reverse so it would appear on camera, but I messed up the U. Who are my influences? Well, there are many, many talented artists and cartoonists who have influenced me in my cartoons. Way too many to mention. Basically, a lot of people who worked on Mad Magazine. I used to read Mad Magazine a lot. There are two oddly specific cartoonists and artists whom have inspired me the most. Tex Avery, who was one of the biggest cartoonists in Hollywood way back in the old days, and Bob Colescott, a controversial painter and artist. So yeah, that's it for this video.